Hello everyone and welcome to Trading with OC. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, and I just subscribed to a thing that I didn't want to subscribe, and I'm fighting for my full refund right now live, but I cannot show you because there is my credit card information right here. But other than that, doing fantastic. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, a phenomenal day. But other than that, let's go and let's get started. Let me just get this out of the way, and let's get started with you guys because, well, I don't want to be, like showing off my last four numbers, right? Once I received like a comment. It was a meme, of course. It was a meme, and it says, "Hey, tell me your gamer tag, and to get your gamer tag, I just need the last four numbers of your credit card and your name, and I'll get you your gamer tag." I was like, dude, that is so hilarious. So yeah, let's not do that. Let's just get things here out of this stuff. And just 1 second here. Let me just review a couple of stuff here really quickly. I want to make sure that I got it right. 1 second, 1 second. I promise you it's not gonna take forever. Just so I can make sure that I can get these things out of the way and continue with the charts. So and I have no records. All right, so okay, wait. All right, got it. All right, perfect. So I think it's out of the way. I can track it already. So let's get started with you guys. And I see cookies and is that cookie? Oh no, they're not cookies. They're they're faces. All right. Love it, love it. Let's get started. Pure love in the chat. I love that. I love that. All right. So Wig's wife. 189. How is it going? Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time here with me. I appreciate that. And I promise you, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of trades. Let's not held back at that. We also have KTGT in the chat. Whoa, this is weak. Yes, us, absolutely. You guys got first and second. Love it, KTGT. Thank you so much for sticking here in the chat. Really appreciate it. Who else we got in here? We have Harp, Mr. Harp. What's up, bro? Today, just for you, I created I teach the alumni in the morning show how to create your own coffee and orange juice. It has to do an espresso, by the way, a double espresso, sweet brew, no added sugar, and concentrated orange juice with a ton of ice. That thing, it is fabulous. Especially when you got a good coffee, a sweet coffee. We also have Crypto Squid in the house. How is it going, my friend? Welcome. Great to have you around. We also have Indie Rock Crypto. What's up, bro? Long time no see. Great to have you in here. Really appreciate you stopping by, my friend. And we have all the who carry all us through Halo gameplay, Mr. All said, how's it going, my friend? Shout out to you, a great gaming here. He was getting them all, man. He was getting them all. He was the only one taking shots on the Halo Friday. By the way, this upcoming Friday, remember, cloud gaming, no console needed. You can do it through your Android to your Apple device. You can do it through your Mac, PC, whatever you desire. We're gonna be gaming. We're gonna be doing, what is it? Mortal Kombat. So we're gonna be doing Mortal Kombat. Don't miss on that one. All said, I'll be waiting for you, my friend. We're also gonna be taking a look at who wants to jump in. Double shout out to Crypto Squid. And we also have, who else we got in here? Jesus Save 77. What's up? And this is J Violet. How's it going, J Violet? Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for your timing here. Really appreciate it. And do we have anyone else in here? I think that's all of us. So yesterday we have a lot of views, guys. Thank you so much for your support. And a quick reminder, click that like button. That really helps with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's get trading. Hey, we have username last minute jumping in right there. Username, bro, welcome. By the way, remember, this Friday I'm gonna be waiting for you. Remember to practice on your Mortal Kombat skills. because oh man, that I'm gonna be practicing starting on tomorrow, Thursday. So I'm gonna spend a big portion of my night playing. Oh man, I always forget about this. Mortal Kombat. So yeah, man, better get ready. Hey, Retro Mike Take, what is that? Retro Mike Tech. Sorry, what's up, bro? Welcome. How's it going, brother? Hopefully you can join in the gaming space. That will be really fun. By the way, guys, anyone that if you want to join, remember, just connect here. We're gonna be transmitting that, and I think I got figured out what last time was just a little bit crappy, the transmission, but we're gonna be working on that. So let's get it, and let's talk about what we talked about yesterday and how things progressed. All right, so let's see here a couple of things. We started with Solana. Let's go and check out Solana. We were into a short looking for a long position. Let me see if I can play this one up for you guys. There we go. That was our alert setup, and I want you guys to notice when we added that alert. It's loading, whatever. Let's just leave it. Oh, there it is. There is the alert. I think so. So let's go to Solana. Let's go to our alerts, and let's take a look at here. Solana crossing at 10 a.m. right after the morning show. All right. So crossing 176. Let's measure that 176 with this one. 176.81 for a possible entry. Guess what we got in there, my friend? So quick note. I closed and reopened the trade. So I have a secondary trading here. I had this trading here. And as we were coming in here, and I saw it just having a little bit of a reversal, I chickened out. I need to say that. So I chickened out, closed that trade, and then reopened immediately another trade to try to compensate for that. I made a better position, quote unquote, and that is because from the price that I closed, from the price that I re-entered, it was slightly just a couple of cents of difference. But there we go. Right now we are in resistance at this point. We should be taking profits right now as we speak. Just so you know, I have taken profits, moved my stop to entry, and this is how we are standing. All right, so looking at this, well, we were hitting that support right there, and we were somewhere around here. Well, looking in retrospective, because yesterday I mentioned, hey, we just don't have those tiny candles, right? I don't know what I was smoking, man. Nothing. All right, I was sober for most of the night. No, just kidding, of course. But just to say, right? Well, I don't know what I was smoking, but those are tiny candles. What was I looking into, right? Those are tiny candles. All right, so a little bit of a correction here. We did have some tiny candles. Nonetheless, great stuff that we waited just a little bit more. We had a better entry here. All right, so there we go. We got, and by the way, just so you know, it still reminds that 1/4 of an entry, right? So I was looking for maybe the next 1/4 of an entry somewhere around here. Did not play it out. That's fine. And well, then at this point, we are breaking the trend line. Little thing here, we could be, I mean, even if we bounce out of this area, like if we roll over, I mean, we could start forming another trend line, right? So let's not get too excited at this point. Although breaking the trend line, it's important. Let's just keep it a little bit in clutching here. So let's see. Let me follow up with you guys because long dive home. My long dive home. I see. Love it. All right. So watch out. Username. I'll see. Guy. Bring magic fingers. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. I'm picking up on pressing everything and doing some amazing shit on the not crypto game. Sorry, on the what is it? Mortal Kombat game. So yeah, get ready. I'm gonna be just punching things into the controller. Oh man, love it. All right. So let's get it. Let's take a look at what else we looked into it. So far we are in profits. We should be taking profits and moving our stop to entry. So there we go. Kitchen for the first one there. Let's go and take a look at what is next on this area. So let's just forward into it. All right. And we're looking, of course, at this. We took so long on Solana. I mean, it was a little bit I was a little bit undecisive whether you take it or not. But so far, I mean, played out actually better than I was expecting it. All right, so, whoop, yeah, that we talked about Solana. All right, come on. Ina, perfect. Ina, we have Ina. Let's check out what we were expecting on Ina. Maybe some sweep of the lows in here. Let's forward through here. All right, so we were already on that sweep of the lows. All right, maybe going to that order block and then breakout retest continuation. All right, Ina has been playing out, not exactly, but here it is. All right, so there it is, what we were looking for. So let's go to again. So rolling back up, breaking through continuation. So Ina rolling back up. All right, by the way, fantastic candle. Too bad I did not took it. All right, that's fine. We were expecting maybe enter here, but that is not playing out so far. Right, the next thing will be having a reversal diamond. And if, because I mean, we've seen this double bottom setup, right, with the U-form pattern here. Right, so we have the double bottom here with the U-form pattern here. We haven't seen recently, because we had it. Let's see it. Let's see if I can pull that up. Well, not really. Let's just not waste too much time in there. But we have seen a triple bottom scenario. All right. So let's just get on that. All right. So important. We are in resistance. That's why I'm waiting on it. All right. So we don't long resistances until we break out, retest, continuation. All right. So we're still waiting. What are the two scenarios? If we bounce down here, we're going to be going in here. You know what? I don't know why I don't have an alert. So I should be having that alert. Perfect. And then, or if we break out, we're still not longing. We're waiting for the retest. And then off we go. That retest might come in here or come in here. So do expect maybe something like that in the worst case scenario. I'm just going to leave it like this so we are aware of what might be happening. And also I'm going to be lowering this area right here a little bit below, somewhere around that zone, right? So far, so good. I think we got that cover. Let's go check out what else. So standing by on Ina, still not a trade to be taken, but is starting to react, right? So let's go and take a look at the next one, which was, I believe, Ton. And come on, yeah, I mean, all of that. All right, whatever. And today I'm trying to go faster. All right, Ton. All right, perfect. We were not in profits. All right. Remember that right here. We were talking about the clock ticking. All right, that thing moving sideways. The thing, I mean, the oscillator already have a flip of the ribbon. It already have a possible reversal. And the price was not moving to the correct area. All right, I mentioned the clock is ticking. Let's see if I can have it right here. So the point is that it should be bouncing up, and I just don't see it. Remember, that happened to us on Ina. All right, so the Ina thing, yeah, whatever. All right, and LDO. All right, whatever. And all right, we talked about LDO. All right, we're gonna be coming back to LDO. All right. And here's what happens. Let's mark it with that vertical line. All right, whatever. We barely move on it. And all right, so be prepared, all right, to calling out this trade if you did not take it, because I mean, we've been in profit. So there's another, right, whatever. Yeah. So remember. Be prepared to call that out or call that token because the thing is just not moving upwards. Come on, I want to find that. All right, perfect. Whatever. I think that we get or we remember that part, right? So let's go back to Ton. What's happening with Ton? It finally is moving, right? Finally pushing through. All right, so we're still below water, right? But look at our RSI priming here. It's back into the green, and the thing it's moving. All right, let's give it a couple of more hours. So I'm thinking about 2 to 3 candles. All right, so be prepared to stay up late in here, or at least set your alert right here. So I'm gonna be adding 2 alerts, one in here and another one right here on my liquidation point. Well, no, liquidation stopped out. All right, So this is going to be the deal. As soon as I am on profits, I'm going to try to cut it out. All right. And then move my sub to entry and try to get that 50% out. We're almost running out of time. I mean, the clock was ticking and we are running out of time. But I think we can still go for something like this. All right. So itty bitty tiny part like that. All right. So something like this, with where we have a reversal diamond and another reversal diamond like that. All right. So that might be taking us to dynamic reactor and then bouncing back downwards. So that's what I'm expecting, and that's what I'm looking for. So most likely, thanks to our stop loss strategy, well then we might be able to close a maybe a not such a great trade in profits. All right. So I'm not gonna be trying to get greedy. I'm gonna leave it as is. If you are in this trade and you are below the water and you want just to get out of it, just to move your money out of this, you still, I mean, that is a pretty good zone though. I mean, to call that with a small loss. And that is because right here, there's only 1.3%. If we're talking about 10x, which I'm using 10x, that will be a 10%, all right? But that is a 10 out of a 30% of a stopped out, if that makes sense, all right? So I think this still is a good area. If you want just to call it out, be done with this and move with the next one. And now let's go over, of course, LDO. LDO, we were saying the same thing, all right? So we were in between, I mean, 2 candles at profit, and for most of the time being below water. But still, yeah, we moved out of that. But still, we were watching for that oscillator, or that ribbon of the oscillator to hit up, right? And then get out of that trade. All right, so let's go and take a look at what's happening in LDO. We should be already out of that trade. Remember, we were looking for that segment. By the way, if you haven't, this is the time. Take it, all right? Out of that trade. So look at that. We have our first bearish candle. I think that we could be doing something like that, creating a higher low. But that higher low might be bringing a double bottom. We could go for the next entry somewhere around this point. But in the meantime, let's go. Where's my indicators? Here it is. All right. In the meantime, we already have hit that top. Look at that. Exactly what we were expecting. We were looking for that bounce. This is a good hit, which means slight retracement for then a continuation and then a big retracement. All right. So I would say don't gamble this. I mean, you're in profits. If you still are in that one, you're breaking even. Just take it and let's re-enter when we have a better opportunity. All right. So far, just so you know, I closed this already. So I close it somewhere around here. All right. Just tiny bit of profits. That's fine. And well, then as we were hitting up. All right. So that's basically when I took the trade out and finally just move that money out of it. All right. So let's just get out of this thing and then go with it something else. It's time for me to just clean this up. And then we're going to keep our alerts because I still want to trade LDO. All right. Something important about LDO is that we are performing another kind of movement in here. So we were looking at this trend line. Let's unlock that. And then we created this pivot. All right. On that pivot, we move sideways and we're breaking. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. So we do still have a possible continuation. We are below the 0 line. And most importantly, look at your money flow. Your money flow is still negative. All right. Still pointing downwards. Our True 7 is trying to get it back. All right. But the money flow is just not doing anything. I mean, it's not reversing. So what I believe that we're going to have another choppy movement like this. All right. And then if the True 7 start pushing, then we're going to start seeing that money flow starting to round up in here. Kendushi, Seed, what's up? Ethereum, please. Darron, what? I'm not Darron, but absolutely we can go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. All right, so yeah, absolutely. And as J Fowler mentioned, smash that like button. Really helps with the algorithm. All right. So far, so good. we're having a goose heading here. All right. So again, we are gonna be having a continuation, but so far let's not gamble it. All right. Let's wait for confirmations. So I don't know if I'm speaking too fast or what, but I'm running out of air. But in here, there we go. We have our dynamic reactor. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So once again, I'm setting or moving my alert into the 1.25. So let's get it. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. That happens. That happens. Don't worry. So let's get it. Let's go for grass, TAO, and we get on Ethereum, right? I promise. And that is because we called out a possible scenario right here on grass. All right. Remember that we added our trend lines. We give them some air between the price action and the trend line. We added alerts to those trend lines. And then we were looking for a movement in here, which was this one. All right. Like that. So this is where we are standing now. And let's check that out. All right. So that was grass. Grass, it actually started moving right after the show. Look at that, right at that candle. We just closed the show and boom, blowing up to the upside. All right, perfect. That's fine. But it did not stop the dynamic reactor. Instead, it's going through. All right. So remember that breakout retest? Well, then perfect. I mean, it's still going. Breakout retest, just in a different scenario, right? Previously, we were looking at that breakout retest on the trend line because we still were confined into that trend line. But now that we're out of that trend line, we're looking for that retest a little bit higher up. We still look at that. We're looking for that breakout retest. And guess what zone are we are right now? Are we going to be jumping in for that long? No. This is deceiving. This is deceiving. Not quite there yet. And why is that? Because we are, for once, having tiny candles at the top. Look at that triangular pattern. All right, someone could be telling you the goose head. Yes, I think that could be a goose head. But look at what happens when we start having those red candles, all right? A little retracement, which is typically of a goose head. Let's see if that goose head actually is there. So just in case you didn't know, goose heads are playing out, yep, on the oscillator. So we have our goose head, just like we had our goose head in here, which means little retracement, further continuation, bigger retracement. All right, small retracement, further continuation, bigger retracement. So what are we not there yet? And that is because, oh well, we are. All right, that is because we weren't there yet on the strength. All right, so a little bit outdated. All right, so let's go for it then, guys. First entry on tonight. Let's go for a grass long. I'm gonna be going for a grass long in here. Let me open up my my setup in here, and that is because I'm opening a window. And okay, I'm not forecasting that. All right, not forecasting that. All right, perfect. Load. Come on, load. Grass. And that's it. All right, perfect. Hey, Kelly fan in the house. How's it going, my friend? Welcome, welcome. So there we go. Entry right now. It's just kind of like tweak entry. All right, it's perfect. Still very dangerous trade. We can still go lower here, so my stop loss is gonna be a little bit farther than I was expecting actually, and that is because we can still go for that retest. All right, so something that I wouldn't like, it's going to be going to that retest, and then I mean, if I put this above here and then this thing going parabolic and it tracks me down, so my stop loss is gonna be somewhere around here. Update that again. Well, is that it's just that I closed it. All right, perfect. All right, so that's gonna be my stop loss. 0.73. All right, 73.8. A little bit higher than I had it here. There it is. All right, perfect. Let's lock it. Let's add, of course, an alert in here, and let's add also a taking profit scenario. So where to? This is looking juicy. I'm going to be going for the previous high. TP1, 50% out. And then TP2, 50% out. Let's go and place those numeric values in here. And that's it. All right, perfect. Slightly on profit. But let's not get that excited. All right, so far, grass. Boom, shakalaka. Let's get it. Ayo, Lucky Boss. What's up? My friend, how's it going? Thank you. By the way, click that like button. Really helps. All right. So far, so good. Something important is that we could be going into a rounded topping here. So be aware of it. All right. So we could still come back down. All right. That's why we have a chunky stop loss in here. All right. So we're still aiming at 1.8. So not that bad. Not that bad. Almost 1 to 2. All right. So let's go to TAO and then we'll jump into Ethereum. All right. TAO. This is important because TAO, what is it? TAO ranked the 18th. All right. So 2 days ago. But we were having an entry a little bit lower than that. All right. Not only that, we take a look at here. We were expecting that flip of the ribbon. Our entry zone, remember that we place our first area a little bit above our entry zone. Where is it? Come on. Here it is. It was right around or right at, because we have a double entry, all right? Right around here at the beginning of this liquidity zone, all right? And another half of an entry, all right? So we were aiming for that secondary entry. What happened today? Look at that. And it's not that long ago. All right. It was basically almost at the beginning of the class. This one ringed. All right. Ding, ding, ding. We should be on a long in here. All right. So taking that long, sorry, 6 a.m. At the beginning of the morning session. So there we go. We are already into 3 candles in. And I'm aiming, let me just get rid of all of this stuff. All right. Aiming for a short long, right? So a little bit of a itty bitty long, if we can call it like that. And then I'm looking for, well, as we were expecting. All right. Let's just move it. And then we're going to be going for that short. So I need to add an alert for that short and then just wait for the thing to play it out. So far, taking profits, it's now advisable. Why is that? Is that because we have our oscillator? We're going for that 0 line. Let me just double click in here. 0, exactly 0. Look at that. That is perfect. All right, right click and let's lock it. We are going for that 0 line hit. But to my eyes, this seems to be a little bit chunky here. All right. So what happens when we get that chunkiness? We're preparing for that flip, all right? I mean, look at that. We were chunky here, chunky there, all right? So I could still be wrong. But, in between I am or I'm not, or I am not, well, then the truth of the matter is that right now we're running into the 0 line. And our money flow, despite it's pointing up, we haven't been seeing a crossover. So let's not gamble with our money. Just take whatever is being given, all right? And then let's wait to see if we can catch that short, or, well, we'll just see if we can go maybe lower, going for our re-entry here, all right? And then let's clone this, our re-entry there, and then we'll see if we can long that area once again. Regardless, I'm not closing that long, all right? I'm closing 50% of that long. All right, so there we go. I think we got most of the things out of the way. Let's go and check out by request Ethereum. So hashtag, you know what? I want to see you guys in the chat. All right, Ethereum. We were looking for this entry right here. It fall. Oh, look at that. Almost too short in here. Let me clear this up. And this is something that it's important. I'm really glad that you're bringing Ethereum here to the table. That is because we already have this trend line, or we can actually just get another measurement like this from here, all right? And call this one, let me see. There we go. And call this area an outlier. The truth of the matter is that whatever you're drawing like this, it's still fine. Both of those are fine. And that is because we're creating a pivot. It's not confirmed, but it looks like it wants to confirm. And we're also going over this other pivot, all right? So both of the ways that you draw this, it's still fine. The only thing that I'm going to be saying it is that I think that we should be first looking at this one because it's already breakout, all right? Let's see where we have our support and resistance. So far, resistance. Oh, all right, support. Oh, there we go. There it is. All right, perfect. That's what I was looking for. But I'm also interested on the smart money entries. Oh, there. I mean, which ones have this? No volume. No volume. I don't want to take those. All right, so yeah, but this one is just too far away. No, really, no smart money entries. Maybe this one here. I mean, where's the volume? Come on, maybe this one right there. But we already have bounce from it, and we have dynamic reactor, so not really. I'm not seeing much on the smart money entry zones right there. All right, so let's just get rid of it. The high order block and going to this other area. Perfect. We have another order block here. Let's draw another trend line here, another line right there. Let's go. Oh, well, but we did also have another, look at that high order blocking here. Let's see our trend channel at the top of the channel. All right. Our VRVP. Oh, look at that. All right. On the resistance. Right on the resistance. Our ghost trend. All right. It's not working for some reason. Let's see. Let's reload it. Click OK. Let's wait for it. And for some reason, it's just not working. Which is fine. FIVP. Oh, going higher. Where to? This area. All right. So it seems like the secondary line is actually taking more or being more advantageous. Liquidity or liquidations. Oh, right there. All right. So everything is pointing at that we're going to keep going upwards. All right. So here's the thing. We're still bearish. We are below the silver lining here. How is the strength? It's pointing down. So no strength on the bearishness. That's why we're going up. All right. What if we are in a resistance? Well, I believe that we could be doing this and then that. All right. That is going to be plan A. And then plan B, let me change course of action, will be going here, retesting, and going back up. All right. These points are not, oh, come on, not set on stone. This point right here is not set on stone. All right. Let me just get that here. And that is because, okay, at any point when the price action is here, that area could not hold. All right. Could not hold. So far, we're seeing trying to break the structure, right? So making a significant high. So going for a higher low would be the case, and that's what I'm looking at this area for plan A, right? The first higher low, which could be our long entry. If not, well, then we're gonna be aiming for the breakout retest right there. What is going to be the actual the plan if we start reversing? Because I remember that I told you guys this area could not hold. Are you willing to open up a short? I wouldn't at this area. I mean, why? Look at that. Our consolidation score is pretty high, right? And our prime score is also pretty high. So not really a short that I would like to take until I start losing my previous low. So I rather trade the BOS as we're losing it or waiting for the breakout continuation. All right, but so far that is Ethereum. We'll have to see how Bitcoin is also playing out around with it, and let's see how that goes. Something that I also was a mover, it was right here, Link. Remember Link? We left it out when we were looking for that head and shoulders, maybe going for one more shoulder, waiting for that breakout retest continuation. Well, that did not play out. That's fine. There was no entry, so no harm in there. No hit on our account. But something interesting is that we are very dramatically going upwards in this rising wedge, all right? And I don't like that. I just don't like it. The shape of the thing, it's not something that I like, all right? And, well, we are not reaching at predicted targets. Right here we did. So we'll see if we can create a higher high in here. Well, then we're going to be trying to go for the kill shot up here. Where is that kill shot? I think this is a fantastic setup. There we go. 2-4 hour predicted ranges. So let's add an alert slightly below. Let's go for a short position right here. And for a stop loss, here it is. All right, above our trend line. Sorry, predictive range. And let's see, going for the target all the way down there. Perfect. All right, so chain link. Looking to be... my pleasure, my friend, my pleasure. The link seems to keeps want to keep on keeping. All right, let's take a look at ADA. ADA, despite it seems bearish, look at this line in here, and I think that this could have been a bullish pennant with a sweep of the lows, with a high order block. Peak performance, bouncing out of your high order block on your dynamic reactor. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. So we'll see if we have that breakout or not. All right. So far, we still need to give it some time. We keep going upwards, and we're losing that strength, which means we are going to keep going upwards. All right. This is a highly bearish between 65 and 35. It is the equilibrium is more to the bearish side. All right. So I will be looking for a shorting here, but also I'm going to be looking for a long. So this is an indecision point. All right. There's my short in here, right there with a stop loss in here, where we could be aiming for a hedge. All right. Because we've seen that before. All right. There is no triangle in here. But let me show you when there is a triangle there. Come on, don't move that. And I just don't find it. All right. Maybe this one here. It's not exactly the perfect scenario. All right. Oh, this one. All right. Where we have the triangle, we have some sweep of the lows. We break out, we hit it, we slightly retrace, we create a higher low. This is your entry for a big movement long. All right. But there's also a slightly different scenario that we've seen a lot of here. Oh, here's another one. Look at that sweep of those lows, right? Your entry, and then off we go. There's another one that I just saw here. Another triangle. Now that I'm not looking for it, I see them. All right, perfect. This one here. This is not a proper triangle, all right? But I think the example is there. Here it is. In fact, this looked like a bullish flag, so much better, all right? And then we have the sweep of the lows, and after that, we don't get a higher low. See that? Instead of that higher low, we get a lower low, and then it's already too late. So here we're gonna hedge, and then we're gonna be looking for that higher low. All right, maybe some higher low like that. If we get the higher low, we long it, but if not, the short is already in place. All right, so that is gonna be it for ADA. All right, so once again, we have taken some profits. Small profits. Today wasn't that profitable, but still, I mean, we're still hitting some jackpots. All right. So not as big as yesterday, not as big as for other ones, but still hitting some jackpots. So, but still, well, we're doing fantastic. So guys, let's just wait for the market to cool down a little bit. I think that tomorrow we might have some into the weekend trades. I still don't like the way that they're looking. I just there is that feeling that it's backed up for a possibility on Bitcoin, right? It's not that, there you go. It's not that it's happening, but we just don't have anything here. All right, we lost the loud order block, and now the loud order block rebuilt on top of the price action. So I believe that we can still go run down to 1010 or 110 in here, right? And do something like that. This is what could be taking the price of altcoins downwards. All right, that is what I'm afraid, quote unquote, afraid of trading altcoins. So let's just leave it as is right now. Let's see how numbers played out tomorrow. Let's also see how they're defining themselves. And of course, well, we've been taking some gains lately, so you should be more than in profits. All right, guys. So let's get it. Oh, Libra. All right, Libra, promise username. You're my best buddy. Promise that we're going to be taking a look at it tomorrow. All right. But in the meantime, let me go fight for my refund. And I'll let you know how that played out at the end of tomorrow's class. So guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.